Hi, this is Betty Plus Books, and today I want to talk about nonfiction books because apparently November is Nonfiction November. And I had not heard about this until I saw another channel mention their Nonfiction November TBR. And so even though I have already planned out my TBR for this month, what do we do when we realize that there is a challenge that's going on that we didn't plan for? That's right, we add more books to our TBR. But what I really want to do today is talk about the prompts for Nonfiction November and give some recommendations for books that I think would be a good fit for each of those prompts. The first prompt is collection, and for this I thought about collecting money and like bills collections and kind of managing your finances. So I want to recommend Lillian Karabaic's A Cat's Guide to Money. I believe this was published originally under the title Get Your Money Together, but this is a really enjoyable book for people who probably don't know much about finance yet. It's a very gentle introduction and it's a lot of fun where like she has a lot of things with analogies with cats, and there are some fun games at the end that can help you kind of think about managing money in different ways. So I do really recommend this. Lillian also has a YouTube channel where she does live streams about money related topics every Sunday. I believe this week she's doing one about picking out your healthcare plan, which is really important coming up on November and throughout November and December. So definitely check out her channel as well. She has a lot of really helpful content. So the next prompt is industry. And for this, I want to recommend Sher, and specifically her books Refuse to Choose and I Could Do Anything If I Only Knew What It Was. These two books in combination really helped encourage me to quit my full-time 9-to-5 job. So take that as both an endorsement and a warning. But she's really good about kind of helping you figure out what you're interested in doing for an occupation and what you're interested in doing as hobbies, and also figuring out whether the thing that you really deeply want to do is best suited to you as like your full-time job, or if you'd rather have like a job that's good enough to help support you in doing your hobby so that the thing that you're passionate about doesn't become the thing that you're relying on. The next word prompt is style, and for this I have two recommendations. The first one is a book that's in the style of a comic strip, and that is Solutions and Other Problems by Allie Brosh. And this is more of a memoir of like the things that she's experienced over the last couple of years. A lot of it's very funny, but there's also a lot of it that's really sad and heartbreaking. So just like be prepared, or if you're not good with sad things, like have a friend read it with you and just like warn you like which parts to skip or which parts to like brace yourself for. So just be aware of that. And then the second one is more in the traditional like beauty style, and that is Beauty Sick by Renee Engeln, I think, or Engeln. And this is something I read a few years ago, and it really looks at the beauty industry and like the unhealthy things that it encourages a lot of women to do, and the ways that it makes us more unhappy than happy and more self-conscious than self-confident. And I really enjoyed it, and I probably want to look into more books that analyze the same thing. The last word prompt is treatment. And for this I had a few ideas, but I settled on the book Stiff by Roach. And this looks at the way that we treat death and treat like dead bodies, different ways that we do burial and different ways that we maybe use bodies for like scientific experimentation, and different options for people for like what they can do and what they can ask for to be done with their bodies when they die. And I thought that this was done in like a really sensitive way while also being very like analytical. I'm usually not very good with books that like center around death in any way, but this actually didn't bother me that much, and I actually found it really intriguing. So those are my recommendations, and I want to kind of look for specific kinds of books for each of these prompts, although I'm not sure exactly which ones I want to read yet. For industry, I would really love to read a little bit about like how certain industries came about. I'm considering looking a little bit into some books about the meat industry, although I know that could make me like feel a little squeamish, so I haven't quite decided that that's what I want to do. But I would like to see more like how a particular industry came about, or some of like the nitty gritties of a particular industry. For treatment, I think I want to read something that's about like how a particular group has been treated without. For treatment, I want to look at specifically books that talk For treatment, I'd like to look specifically at books that talk about how certain groups have been treated throughout history, because I feel like that's something that I'm not sufficiently well read in. For treatment, I'm pretty sure that I can find something from It's Belle's feminist book recommendations video that talks about how people, either women or specifically women of color, have been treated in the past, and I'll probably get something from her recommendations. For style, I think I want to continue reading more about traditional beauty and non-traditional beauty, and how different kinds of beauty have been looked at and treated in the past. And for collection, I have no idea what I want to read. If you have recommendations, just please send me anything, preferably short ones, because I'm gonna have to add 4 new books to my TBR after my already mostly filled out TBR that I'm probably behind on. So just give me recommendations. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you've read any books in these categories that you think I would really like, please leave them in recommendations down below, because I really haven't firmly decided on any books I'm reading, so I would love to hear your suggestions. I hope all of you participating enjoy your nonfiction November. Until next time, happy reading.